Lady Celene climbs the narrow spiral staircase that winds within the ancient tower. Outside, the evening sky is turning a hush of deep indigo, and the first stars begin to twinkle, shy as fireflies emerging at dusk. The stones of the observatory walls feel cool beneath her fingertips. The air is quiet, scented faintly of old parchment and beeswax. At a broad wooden desk, she unrolls a great sheet of fine vellum. Her quill hovers above, dipped in ink that glitters like crushed sapphires. Each brushstroke is tender and deliberate, soft as a whisper, as she paints the shapes of constellations across the pale page. In her world, the stars are believed to be tiny holes in the curtain of heaven, letting divine light shine through, a gentle, ancient notion from medieval cosmology. In many medieval schools of thought, people thought the sky was a translucent dome, and starlight was not distant suns, but something far more sacred. As Lady Celene works, a quiet breeze stirs through a narrow window, carrying the rustle of leaves from a nearby courtyard. The silver light of the moon drifts in, mingling with candle glow, making the ink glow softly on the parchment like spilled starlight. She pauses, lowering her quill to gaze upward. Her eyes trace the constellations she has already mapped. The Great Bear, the delicate swirl of the swan, and a few faint, distant lights she names after ancient heroes. Each dot of ink corresponds to a star, each line a tale whispered across centuries. In quieter times, medieval astronomers believed that the heavens were not just a physical place, but a mirror of the divine order. Lady Celene feels this deeply. When she studies the patterns, she imagines that she is reading a secret language, one written by the hand of something greater than the world below. The soft crackle of the hearth from below the tower drifts upward as a gentle warmth seeps through the stones. She leans closer to her parchment, and her heart pulses gently, in rhythm with the hush of the night. Her quill whispers over the vellum, drawing a new star, a cluster that seems to tremble faintly in her sapphire ink. As she works, she murmurs softly to herself, names she gives to the stars, songs she hums under her breath. Her voice is low, almost a lullaby. She imagines early astronomers, monks and scholars peering up at the same sky, believing that beyond the firmament lay divine waters or the quiet abode of angels. The breeze carries a faint scent of jasmine from a garden below, and Lady Celene closes her eyes for a moment, letting the scent float through her mind like a gentle lull. In that moment, she feels weightless, as though she herself might drift up through one of those holes in heaven and touch the soft glow beyond. Now she whispers a prayer of thanks for the ink that holds her dreams, for the stars that guide her hand, for the night that listens so patiently. Her breathing slows, her eyelids grow heavy, and she places her quill gently down, letting the last drops of sapphire shimmer on the page. Beneath the dome of the sky, Lady Celene leans back in her chair, and the parchment lies still, a map of the heavens, a soft promise of stories yet to be told. The candle flame flickers low, and outside, the wind sighs through the leaves, like a gentle exhale. And now, dear listener, you may let your own eyes close, imagining that quiet observatory, the soft sea of stars overhead, and the warm, calm presence of Lady Celene beside you. Let her gentle work lull you, the swirl of ink, the rustle of parchment, and drift softly into your own starlit dreams. Lady Celene stirs from her reverie. The candlelight has grown faint, the flame dancing in little sighs. Around her, the tower hums with the faint sounds of sleeping stone, the occasional pop of settling mortar, the whisper of wind curling through high windows. She stands, her long linen gown brushing the cold floor, and crosses to the narrow window. Outside, the courtyard lies bathed in silver. The fountain below catches moonlight and tosses it back in trembling ripples. Beyond the walls, the fields stretch into shadow, quiet, unending. Celene places her palms against the window ledge, feeling the smooth, time-worn stone. It was said that this observatory had stood since the reign of her great-grandfather, built by monks who studied the heavens by candle and compass. They had believed, as many did, that the stars turned upon crystalline spheres, vast, invisible shells carrying each constellation in perfect harmony. She whispers to herself, repeating one of the old Latin phrases etched above her desk, "Sicut in caelo ita et in terra," as in heaven, so on earth. Those words always soothe her. a promise that the calm of the skies might reflect into the hearts of those who watched below. Celene takes up her small brass telescope, an early device, precious and rare, its lenses ground by careful hands. Though medieval lenses were crude by modern eyes, she treasures it. When she peers through it, the stars feel close enough to touch. The lens catches the candle's glow, then reveals a single bright point, Vega, the harp star. It flickers blue-white like a sleeping flame. She imagines the sound of its music, for ancient scholars believed that the heavens sang, a soft, endless harmony known as the music of the spheres. They said that every planet and star made a tone too pure for mortal ears, but that the soul could feel it, a deep hum beneath all creation. Celene smiles faintly. Perhaps that's why we dream, she whispers, to hear what waking ears cannot. She returns to her desk. The parchment before her glimmers faintly, her sapphire ink catching the moonlight that filters in. She touches a fingertip to one of the drawn stars, and the ink is cool, smooth beneath her skin. Outside, a nightbird calls, long and low. Then silence follows, the kind that makes every sound sacred. Celene pours herself a cup of water from a clay jug, the movement slow, the sound soft and round. She sips, listening to her breath. She can almost hear her heartbeat echo against the vaulted ceiling above, mingling with the hush of wind through the open window. She sets the cup down and opens a small wooden chest near her desk. Inside are fragments of parchment, old maps drawn by other astronomers, notes written in fading ink. Among them lies a curious token, a polished piece of obsidian, smooth and black as night itself. Her father had given it to her when she was a child, saying that travelers once carried such stones to catch reflections of the stars when clouds hid the sky. Celene holds it up. The obsidian mirrors her candle, her eyes, and then, faintly, the constellation she has drawn. A perfect reflection of heaven within a stone. The night grows stiller, deeper. In the hearth below, the last embers glow faint red. She feels sleep tug gently at the edges of her thoughts. Yet before she rests, Celene always finishes the same ritual, writing one line of gratitude in her notebook. She dips her quill again, writes slowly. For every light above, there is a hope below. She lets the ink dry, closes the book, and leans back, listening once more to that quiet, imagined music of the spheres, the endless, invisible lullaby. Her breathing slows, her heartbeat steadies, and in her mind she drifts upward, past the open window, beyond the tower, rising softly through the cool night air. She floats among the constellations she drew, each one pulsing gently, like lanterns in a vast ocean of blue velvet. The stars are not cold here. They are warm, welcoming, familiar. They hum softly, the faintest vibration that feels like peace. She drifts near the swan, Cygnus, and traces her hand along its wing of light. Each feather is a note in the celestial harmony. She glides on, past the harp, past the bear, past 1,000 ancient names that whisper as she passes. And then, the sky itself breathes. The curtain of heaven shimmers faintly, as if responding to her presence. Light streams through it, soft, slow, golden, the divine light medieval dreamers once imagined. It fills her mind, her heart, her breath, and as that glow expands, Lady Celene smiles, resting her cheek against her folded hands upon the desk. The candle beside her flickers, dances once, and settles into a long, steady flame. The first hint of dawn brushes against the edge of the horizon, though Lady Celene's tower still lies wrapped in night. The stars above have begun to fade, slowly, lovingly, as if one by one they are being tucked beneath a blanket of soft blue silk. Inside the observatory, the air feels warm from the candle's steady glow. The scent of beeswax and ink has grown faint, replaced by the tender fragrance of morning dew that creeps in through the open window. Celene dreams lightly, her head resting on her arm, her quill still within reach. In her dream, the stars she drew have come alive. They swirl gently across the parchment, forming rivers of light, flowing between lines and curves like golden water. She can feel the ink moving beneath her fingertips, alive, breathing. In the dream, she follows those rivers outward, stepping into the night sky as though it were made of velvet threads. Her bare feet touch the cool shimmer of starlight, and every step hums softly, echoing the old medieval belief that every star had its own guardian spirit. Scholars once wrote that the constellations were angelic hosts, watchers who guided the harmony of the world. Celene walks among them, her gown fluttering with silver embroidery, each stitch catching glimmers of the constellations she once mapped by hand. "Do you see?" a voice murmurs in her dream. It is old, tender, like the sound of a page turning. "You trace the heavens, and in turn they trace you." She looks up. The stars above have shaped themselves into a familiar pattern, the map she drew the night before. Each line of ink now becomes a radiant beam, linking light to light, idea to idea. "Who are you?" Celene whispers. The voice answers softly, the echo of every dreamer who ever looked up and wondered. A calm hush follows, long, wide, infinite. Celene smiles in her sleep. Even in the dream, she feels herself relax, the weight of centuries slipping away like sand through open fingers. The dream begins to change. The ink river's still and the stars above her slowly fade, not in darkness, but into light. Warm, golden, sunrise light. When Celene opens her eyes, she is back at her desk. Morning has come. The candle has burned low, the wick curling into a tiny spiral of smoke. The ink in her jar has dried to a faint shimmer. Outside, a robin sings from the garden wall, its call gentle and bright. She sits up, stretching her hands toward the window. The stone is cool against her palms. She breathes in the fresh air of dawn. Down in the courtyard, the servants are just beginning their day. She can hear faint footsteps, the jingle of pails, the sleepy clatter of bread being baked in the ovens below. The smell of baking dough rises faintly to the tower, a smell that softens the heart and anchors the soul. Celene smiles, resting her chin in her hand, watching the world wake. She knows she should sleep, yet her body feels light, serene, full of a quiet energy that lingers after deep dreams. She gazes again at her parchment. The stars she painted last night gleam faintly even in daylight. The crushed sapphire ink reflects the morning sun, as if reluctant to surrender its night-born magic. Then she notices something, faintly, impossibly. One of the drawn constellations seems different. A single point of ink, one she doesn't remember painting, has appeared just above the harp. It twinkles faintly when she tilts the page toward the light. A curious peace washes over her. Perhaps she did paint it and forgot, perhaps not. In the hush of early morning, she likes to believe the stars themselves added it, a small gift for one who watched so patiently. Below the window, the bells of the nearby chapel begin to ring, the first of the day's prayers. The sound is soft, round, almost like breath itself. Celene closes her eyes, letting each tone ripple through her body. The bells remind her of the stories told by the monks who once tended this tower, how sound and light were twins in the eyes of creation, how every chime was thought to echo in the heavens as a flicker of light. "When we pray," they said, "the stars listen." Celene hums a few notes under her breath, a quiet tune that threads between the bells. It is a melody she learned as a child, a simple hymn of thanks for morning. Her voice blends with the ringing until the two are indistinguishable, the harmony of human and celestial sound, earthly and divine. When the bells fade, she speaks a final prayer. May this light find every soul that looks up tonight. Then she sets her quill aside for the day. She ties a ribbon around the finished parchment, sealing it carefully with wax. Into the soft seal she presses her insignia, a crescent moon with a single star resting within it. She places the finished map in a wooden chest with the others, years of drawings, each one a chapter of the sky. Some nights she dreams that centuries from now, another soul will unroll them and see not just stars, but the quiet breath of those who once loved the night. The thought comforts her. It is enough. Celene stands and stretches, her hair catching threads of morning gold. She walks slowly down the stone stairs, each step echoing like a heartbeat through the spiral. As she descends, the light grows brighter, warmer. The scent of fresh bread greets her halfway down, and by the time she reaches the doorway, the tower feels less like a monument of study and more like a home waking to the day. She pauses at the threshold and glances once more toward the sky. The stars are gone now, but the memory of them glows behind her eyelids, steady and calm. The world, she thinks, is simply the heavens turned inside out. And so she smiles, steps into the sunlight, and lets the day begin. Now, dear listener, you might feel that same golden warmth spreading through you. The same peace Lady Celene felt as she stepped into morning. Your breath moves easily. Your thoughts are calm and slow. The stars are fading, and all that remains is light. You can rest now. You have followed her through night to dawn, and like her, you are safe, grounded, and still.